Alright, welcome back everybody. We're still in the middle of this mission. It shouldn't be much longer. We're past the tipping point where I'm just going to start producing dragons and onis on every turn. And there's not really much cherry stone down here in the bottom has been doing. Like, they have not been creating a lot of anti-air units. And there's not really been too much here that would suggest that I am going to be in trouble upcoming. But whatever, right? So basically, we're gonna bring down our what's it called, units. I don't want to drop Tenri on the other island because she can't travel through, at least I don't think she can travel through this coral to make it down to the main island, so we're just going to skip that portion. We're dropping off the other one. He'll come down, take the open barracks, and we'll just kind of go from there. If I can, I will take the lower teleporter. By the time I get Tenri dropped off and she begins to attack the teleporter, I don't really know how much use that's going to be to me anymore. Because at that point I'll have 1, 2, 3 dragons at that point down in that area, and not really anything to counteract their presence. So we will see. Shit. I know I've said this before, and probably about a year ago. I love getting together with my family. I'm always disappointed that every time we get together, it seems like they're busy with something. You know, they're either busy working on things that on a holiday you shouldn't be working on. Adam, everyone's exhausted. We need to stop. You can stop all you'd like when we reach the palace. Sorry. Please tell me you have good news. Today's been an unending disappointment. So that's who you were working for. However, our allies suspect that there are other weapons like Requiem out there. We've learned much, but not enough for our allies. We must provoke the ire of a nation so powerful. I assured you I learned much from our studies, however. You can explain later. Right now we have our hands full. And immediately they take all of this. I love it. Trying to gang up on my boss. I don't think so. It ain't gonna go like that. Empress Tenri! Becoming absurd. What business have the Florin in Heaven song? Don't play dumb, lady! This one told me everything. As she summons yet another. A rat amongst mice. A day cannot get any better. Rom, you're alright? Just what do you think you're doing? I am making amends. Yay! Get in there. I'm not a big fan of the 4th of July. You know, not really do anything with the holiday. I like getting together with my family. I like, you know, the cookouts. I like the fireworks. I just, when I see the fireworks, I get outside my head sometimes, and I just think to myself, like, God, I hope our universe isn't just a firework going off in some, you know, it's some larger universe, you know. You know, I'm not some tiny, insignificant, you know, our universe. The biggest thing that anyone can think of right now, okay? That isn't like God, okay? You know, the universe, the whole, everything is not just a firework or a group of fireworks. you know, going off in some tiny, insignificant effect in someone's sky, in some larger, you know, existence, you know, and that at the same time we aren't accidentally creating micro universes in each firework that goes off. It requires both. It requires both sort of, you know, excessive imagination, because you don't know what's exactly happening. It could be, you know, they're just fireworks, Chris. It's just fire in the sky, you know. Why would that create universe? Why would that create life? Why would that create planets and orbits and all that other stuff on a micro scale? But, you know, the whole, you know, our understanding of the Big Bang. What is a Big Bang but a big fucking firework in the sky? And what is, you know, what is the inevitable, the quote unquote inevitable heat death of the universe, but the fireworks all spreading out from a central point and eventually going out. You know, it drives me bananas thinking about it, because it's that, again, it gets back to this, I have an unhealthy obsession, fear of death. It's like, well, I mean, everyone goes through it. We've talked about this 100 times. Everybody goes through it. How can you be upset about it? It's not like you're the only person that's ever going to die in this universe. Everything's going to die. Everything's going to eventually go out, and that's just the nature of things, you know. As far as we know, you know, because it's just the way things are. There's a beginning, a middle, and end. That's how we understand the universe, you know. But because we have a beginning, a middle, and end, you know, our lives that. You know, so it's not like oh, you're the only person or anything that ever exists. But you know, if you were to exist forever, if you were to somehow be able to live in space, or you were able to live forever and escape the planet, you know, the philosophy is that after a million years or a couple trillion years, that eventually everything would come to an end, because there would be no more places for you to inhabit, no more places that had suns or planets or anything else, that eventually everything would cease to exist. And it just, you know, no matter how you try to avoid it, you know, science tells you no, it's inevitable. It's inevitable whether you last another 5 seconds or you last another 500 trillion years, you know. And it just drives me up the fucking wall, because you know, you don't worry. I don't worry about what happened prior to my birth. You know what I mean? Because whatever happened had to happen for me to be here. But you know, the fact that eventually this is all going to end, it just it makes me want to fucking crawl out of my skin. And me thinking about this in terms of a firework going off, and you know, just like, oh, am I just a firework going off? It's just like, oh yeah, you kind of are in a metaphorical way, but it's, yeah, that's nuts. I try not to think about it, but you know, can't help but think about it, because I thought of it 1 year, and then after that point I can't get it out of my fucking brain, because it's like, how often you see fireworks? 2-3 times a year? How often do I think about it? Every time I see it, because it's a trigger memory. It's like, you see a bee, you remember getting stung, you don't see another bee for another year, but when you do, you get stung. Yeah, you know, whatever. We did something bad, real bad. I know, little soldier, but we all have but I will not end my life as a coward. Spare me the melodrama. I was wondering if this was possible or not. Apparently, in that small, narrow area, you don't have the water's not, I guess, deep enough, or something's preventing me from traveling. I guess it was this little sandbar there was preventing me from taking my chips down that way. So we're going to take the long way around. I don't know if they're going to prove of any use to me, because as you can see, I've got my dragons down in the loading dock, quote-unquote loading dock area. So it's just a matter of either moving all of my, all 4 of my commanders into the highlighted flashing area around the artifact, or to finish off the remainder of the commanders. As you can see, there's still 3 commanders left. So do I bring the dragons down, get rid of the commanders? Do I just put my remaining 4? I mean, they're literally right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count them all in this small area. Put them in the balloons, send them down in this flashing area. Call it a day. Or do I just kill the 3 remaining guys? With Mercia retreating, I think I'm just going to move them down there, but as you can see, I have 1 of 2 balloons in the area. So I'm going to have to bring this top balloon down, unload it, load it up with my my commanders, and then in the meantime, I'll just kill everything else that stands in my way. Did your green finger know you were here? Or what happened to the last Florin who invaded my lands? Green Finger Swan is dead because of you. What? Yeah, you bitch. You're the fucking one who set the whole damn thing up. What do you expect? Is it gonna be crit casualties? I mean, if you're gonna send an army unrelated to you to do a job, you better give them very specific instructions as to what they can and cannot do, Or they might take a liberty like killing a leader of an entire group of people, in this case the Greenfingers. Killed the Greenfinger. Well, I mean, wasn't really their fault. The Greenfinger got injured during a battle, and it just so happened that the last push to try and get some information on the technology ended up not producing anything for the mice, but in addition, it cost the Greenfinger his life. So you're partly responsible for that because you didn't say, "Hey, we want you to spy on Cherrystone to see if they have any secret technology, but just make sure you don't kill any of the main commanders, particularly the Queen. That would be a big problem for us if you killed the Queen, because they're going to be looking for revenge. So don't do that. But that's Pistol for you." He says, I don't really want to play by anybody's rules except my own, so I'm going to take some liberties as to who gets to live and who gets to not. Like, how do you explain that? It's like, okay, yeah, it's sort of like a casualty of war, but like, you don't attack people's kings or presidents or emperors or whatever without the knowledge that you're going to enrage an entire nation of people and basically make them hell-bent to get revenge on you. Little soldier, get to safety, get away from here. I think this is over. Every floor knows what you are. We got, another turn to go before this is all over, so anything I do after this is sort of just, I don't know, whipped cream on top of the sundae. Of course, I guess whipped cream is required. Is whipped cream required on a sundae? I think it is, but we always pretend like it's just like a, it's just a cherry on top. You don't need to include it if you don't, but it's like, unless someone asks not to, I don't know. You always put it there, is what I'm trying to say. unharmed. Thank the heavens. You, for if you for have any idea how to get it working again, now would be an excellent time. Henry, look at the people you've harmed. Is this the future you dreamed for Aurora? Abandoned by my allies, pursued by my enemies, and traitors far and wide. This is a nightmare. Father, mother, give me strength now as you did then. Yeah, reckoning the entire alliance system and creating a system where you've essentially got a singular nation, that being Heaven Song, now being opposed by not only the pirates, but Heaven or um not Heaven Song, the Gloomwoods faction, the Cherrystone faction will say to the very worst case is sort of a neutral to slight ally of you. You've made a complete enemy out of, like I said, the Gloomwoods. You made a complete enemy out of Felhelm. So right off, best case scenario, you're looking at 2 new enemies and one possible one that's not completely on board with you anymore. Like basically destroyed your other alliance. You've got, I forgot, pirates make 3 enemy factions, and then the mice, they're not necessarily beholden to you if the tides turn in such a horrible way. You're asking for the entirety of your nation when we're talking about a 5v1, 4v2 or a 5v1. You're asking for your entire nation to be obliterated. Mom, Dad, what's going on? Oh, and then here comes the sun. Koji, get to the palace. If you get hurt, you'll get hurt if you stay here. Who would hurt me? All of our friends are here. See, again, he's coming in at the end of this. So great. All of our friends are here. Cherrystone, Felhelm, the Gloomwoods. These are all of our friends, right? Attend to the artifact. I need a moment. You're the Empress, Lytra. Do whatever you usually do so we can be done with this. Pistol, this isn't a good idea. People will get hurt. I can feel it. Not like we're strangers to hurting people, are we? Oh, that's the line. There's the line. There's the dividing line. You know, they say you draw a line in the sand. Well, she just drew a fucking line right here in the sand, and she said, "Go fuck yourself. Come on, do this for me. This is all you ever cared about. What I can do for you." No. No more, I'm done. Do it yourself if you're so brilliant.
Lytra!
Lytra! Lytra! I don't understand. Why can't you just all work together? The others are short-sighted. They cannot see how dangerous the world still is. I have seen. I hope you never have to. Mom, Koji, please. I won't be able to do what I must if you stay here. This justification is just absolutely bizarre. I wish to create a world where my child is safe by creating war and discord in the world. What in the world? Get back. There's no telling what's capable. Ooh, oh look, it is a conductor's wand. Mines, I hear them all. How long has it been? Show me. Let me see the world through your mind's eye. You were speaking of a war. The Great Distance War, thousands of years ago. Thousands? Presence is just like Requiem. So you've met my daughter, Requiem. I like how everything... Get out of my head! I like everything has been some... obviously music-based weaponry. But right now we know of the Felhull gauntlets, which appear to be conductors' gloves. Like, you know how sometimes, I don't know why you wouldn't anymore, but back in the day you might put on white gloves. Conductor's gloves, and now we have a conductor's baton. And of course Requiem was a cello, I presume.
Huh?
So now she's probing their minds to see if she can find a weakness in amongst them. in order to take over their body, because without a physical body, this is weak, this is worthless. So she's trying to find a host, just like Requiem found a host. And my son, how curious. Yes, they're gauntlets, but I kind of imagine them to be sort of like doctor's mitts. A vassal. I require a vessel. I'm sorry, vessel. What do you wish? What's good do you mean? Mom's gone.
No!
No. Your deepest desire. Chris, stop, you're hurting her. Tell me. Oh, granted. I just need one thing in return. A host. They all have desires. They all have, at this point, they all have desires. About the only person, or persons, I guess, you wouldn't expect would be the Cherrystone Army, because I don't know if you would take over Caesar's body, but you know, of the Felhelm or the Cherrystone Army, he'd be the one that'd most likely trade like his. But he's a good doggo, so of course he wouldn't trade his body in order to gain like pepperoni or something. And then of course, you know, Mercia's very familiar with them, and as is, I'm sure, the other one. But yeah, probing, they all have things they desire, and this is the weak link. Ah, what's your name? Speak, a queen commands you. It's Henry, ma'am. Please, send for help. My father, he's just been hurt. You poor thing. I can help you. You can. Mom, don't listen to her. Mom, who are you? Distraction. Don't think about it. You're the one I want to help, Henry. Your friends have abandoned you. Your enemies are at your doorstep. Tell me, do you seek an end to this unbearable pain? I cannot bring your father back, but I can offer you the next best thing. Safety, control, power. You need but say the word. These are all the things that she desires. Safety for her children, control over things that prior as a child she had no control over, and of course the power to make these first two things possible. Anything. Just get me out of this awful place. Weakness. Your wish is my command. And is any good genie wish. It's not going to work. It's not working. Mom. Oh gee. Yes, I remember. Someone needs me. I cannot give up. Not yet. Listen, little Tenry. There's but one thing that stands between you and freedom. Here, let me kill him for you. She's unfortunately not the only one with weakness in her heart. Where am I? Hush, child. It'll all be over soon. Mom, what are you doing? You've taken up far too much space in one's mind. I'm setting her free. If I have a second chance at life, I just need to clean up a bit. That's all. Hold still. Yeah, Tango, cylinder, romp. Pollution from another's mind. Seems out of my I'm out of practice. No matter, you're all going to the same place. You're not gonna hurt Kirji. Damn right. I don't care who you are. Here, Orla. Of course, Queen Mercia. Henry, this is deprived. All of this interference. I need more time. What the heck are we? Listen, everyone, it may look like Cherrystone Castle, but it's a trick. Requiem brought me here before, too, but it is all in my mind. Cherrystone? Are you blind? our village back home. Where's Dad? And Greenfinger's hunting grounds? This is impossible. We were just in Heaven Song. Wherever we are, there's only one way out. That's through you. No, we can't hurt her. Not your mother, Koji. Even if it is, we gotta stop her. Stop me? Only you knew. Yep, that's the power she has. Gotta watch out for it. Defeat Musteria? So the purple ones are bad, and these commanders are all my ally. Hooray. So don't get pushed in the lava, and definitely don't get pushed in any of these holes, otherwise you're dead. Hooray! We just learned the secret that I had. It took me an entire mission to learn. Also, hey, thanks for bringing one of these fuckers in. That'll make my life better, right? Hmm? Yeah? No? No, of course not. So these guys, he's the only one that's I'm really interested in getting rid of. These guys are gonna hit the wall of commanding officers like waves upon a shoreline. But on the other hand, are a little bit different. Alright, so 80 damage for you. 128. Attack, dead. Yep, attack, dead. Dead. And you guys aren't actually going to be able to kill, but that's okay. Close enough. We need you to go take a dirt nap, but I can't reach you right now. So, I have to deal with the next best thing, which is attacking me like this. In my era, I controlled almost the entire continent, but I faltered. Should have been stronger. But you can succeed where I failed, Little Empress. You need only rend the dead weight from your mind. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Teleport beam. We're gonna want to bring. Technically, we want to bring a shaman in since we do have money to spend. That's what we're gonna do.
Calling reinforcements.
You're gonna need to be healed. I kind of want to save that for later, though. You can't go anywhere. You can attack. You can attack. Shouldn't be enough to kill, though, I don't think. You good again. Other dog. Can get you in here like this. We'll heal up. Alright, that'll be good enough to get you through another battle.